host of the Gridiron.
This is me anyway. I'm just an old fart. I can't stand it, right? This is, I'm not watching it. The Kansas City refs versus the Philadelphia Void Years. Who wins? Who cares? Now, obviously, of course, there's going to be 300 trillion people watching the game. I get that. Oh, I won't be one of them. I won't watch it. We'll never watch it. I don't care. Could care less about who. They're like the Chiefs. Apparently having the calls that the Chiefs get and all. And then I said once again with the Eagles, the Philadelphia Void Eagles, right? Why they're Void Eagles? Because they put void years on the end of their contracts. They're big players' contracts, so they can afford these big players, right? They didn't put the void years on the end of the contracts, and they actually paid Jalen Hurts $51 million a year like they're supposed to, right? Then they wouldn't be able to afford these guys. So therefore, they wouldn't be in the Super Bowl because they wouldn't be that good, right? I absolutely can't stand both teams. I'm sick and tired of seeing the Chiefs win. I just can't stand the Eagles, so I won't be watching it. Hopefully it'll be a good game, right? I mean, there's nothing worse than getting all excited for a Super Bowl and it just winds up being like a blowout. I mean, not a lot. Often there's not many blowouts. Usually, there've been some pretty decent games. I mean, it was the one game, obviously, but the Chiefs lost to the Bucks, right? I mean, that wasn't very close. But I mean, there was a lot of games have been pretty doggone good. So hopefully, whoever does watch, which I'm sure it'll be, 99% of the population, it'll be a good game. It's just that I can't stand both these teams. It's when Patrick Mahomes first started going to the playoffs and the championship and the Super Bowl, and he won a Super Bowl. It's like, wow, hey, Patrick, man, you're a cool guy. You're a likable kind of guy. Hey, I always thought Andy Reid was a fantastic coach. He's going in the Hall of Fame, lock, stock, and barrel. Right? I mean, he took to the Eagles back, what was it? I think 2001, 2, 3, and 4. I think it was the 4 straight championship games. Right? I mean, fantastic coach. I mean, unbelievable coach, right? He's in the Hall of Fame. Steve Spagnuolo, right? The former defensive coordinator for the Giants, right? We had him 2 times, right? I mean, pull for him. It's going to be great. But I mean, after I just get a little sick and tired of it. And then it's on top of that, it's like, then you almost kind of see like these penalties that either get called for the Chiefs or don't get called again. I could just go on. I mean, the one thing. I mean, the absolute. I mean, there was the against the Texans. You can talk about the first down last week against 2 weeks ago against Buffalo that the Bills probably had that they didn't get, and just the ball that hit the ground when a receiver caught the ball for the Chiefs and it could have been over. It just the one when Mahomes is going out of bounds and he goes flying like it's like flopped out of bounds, like he got pushed or something like that to try to draw a penalty. It's just like I just can't stand it. I mean, the one guy for the Texans, takes like a half a step and pushes Mahomes and the flag comes out for it. It's like, get the out of here. I mean, Jared Goff. Throws an interception, throws a pick six where he tries to run down there and make a play. He tries to make a tackle, right? Meanwhile, the commander guy goes and like almost launches himself and like the top of his helmet or whatever hits Goff's the bottom of his helmet, and Goff has to come out and he goes in the blue tent and all of that, and he wound up being okay. But the guy like nails him right there. I mean, it's like no penalty, nothing. That was fine. That was well. First of all, it wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes because he's a gutless little C, right? That's so he wouldn't be there. Right? He's a gutless puss. Right? So he wouldn't be there in the first place. But if that were him, right? If somebody actually forced him and picked him up to run him over there, you're going to try to make a tackle, right? And the guy did that on Patrick. Oh my God, the flag would be out. The dude would be suspended. He'd be kicked out of the game. The touchdown the Commanders would have had would have been called back. I just because that was Patrick Mahomes. I just can't stand it. So can't stand it. Absolutely can't stand it. And I said the thing is, I said with the Eagles is I don't like it because I said, and it's perfectly legal. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I don't like it. There's none of this. As I said, when you sign a guy to a contract, say it's a 3-year contract with Saquon, 3 years, and say it's 4 years for $10 million a year. Just make it easy, right? So if you want to only pay him 3 or 4, whatever, get his cap hit down the initial season and only pay him 5. Okay, well, if you guarantee him $40 million, whatever, the final 3 years of that contract, you owe him $35 million. However you want to break that up. You want to go 5 and then 6 and then 7 and then 20 something or whatever. Okay, that's what you want to do. But after the 4-year contract is up, all the guaranteed or all the money you owe Saquon is in his pocket, and the contract is off the books. We're not pushing void years on the contracts, pushing money down. If you can't afford the players, you don't get them. Simple as that. They go to another team. Plain and simple. You want parity? Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't be hoarding all the good players, right? We'll just push all the money down the road, and so that way we have a really good team right now. So hopefully we can win. No. If you can't afford the players, you don't get them. And as I said, I live about 20 minutes or so from Philadelphia. They're just absolutely scumbags. I can't stand it. I can't stand them. Can't stand their fans. They're just can't stand everything. So, I know there certainly are some people out there, who won't be watching, who could care less. I don't know many people out there that like the Eagles, other than from around here. And as time goes by, I'm sure there's more and more people that absolutely can't stand the Chiefs. I mean, I was just watching something on YouTube. I can't remember the name of the video. Hold on. Let me see. Is it still up here? YouTube. Is it still here? I had it. Hold on. Yeah. It was a video that talked about. Oh, there it is. An unauthorized history of the NFL. It was something put out. It looked like it was 1983. It was put out. It was PBS did something on it, and they were talking about like how gambling is in shocking, right? And how games get fixed and all that stuff are in the NFL, right? So they talked about one guy who was in jail. He came out, he was interviewed and all that, but his face was, he had a beard on and all that stuff to protect his identity and everything, but he was in jail. And he talked about that I think he said 4 games. I think he said 68, 4 and 69, and 4 and 70. He had 4 games each year rigged for the mob. Like, because obviously it's a big deal. Big, there's a lot of people. The games he had rigged. He named sometimes like referees. Sometimes he named coaches. Sometimes he named players involved in this stuff because it's all big bucks. And nowadays, I mean, the amount of money going to get bet on this Super Bowl. So I mean, obviously, where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, there's people that are like hard to believe. I know, right? Go out there and so whether it's I guess mobs or whatever, right? A lot of money be made on this, and if you can get somebody to help you throw a game with a referee. Right. Sometimes, there's some of the guys that they were talking about. If you listen to that video, once again, it's called An Unauthorized History of the NFL. It was some mobsters that were talking about. They had referees, right, help throw the game, right, like the refs are kind of nowadays. One of the things too that a lot of people don't know about, especially if you're a Giant fan, the 1946 championship game. The mob went. There were two guys. Frankie Filchock was one of them. The Giants, right? The Giants and the Bears played each other at the Polo Grounds in 1946. At least two guys for the Giants were approached by mobsters to help throw the game in the Bears' favor. Well, the one guy, I can't remember his name, but he got kicked. He was not allowed to play, and he never played ever again. Frankie Filchock, who was the quarterback for the Giants, he denied it at the time. So he was allowed to play. And in the game, he threw 6 interceptions. And the Giants wound up losing 24-14. Right? So it goes back a long way, a long time ago. We're talking 46. We're talking a championship game in about 80 years ago. Right? The mobsters went to Frankie Filchock and somebody else and offered him a bribe. One guy didn't get allowed to play. Frankie Filchock, the Giants quarterback, I said he didn't get involved or whatever, but it was found out after the game was over with that he was offered a bribe or something like that. I think he got kicked out of football, and he threw 6 interceptions in the game and helped the Bears win in the football. So, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's money, things are going to happen, right? So, I don't know, Now the thing is, when we're talking games, individual games, because that's a lot easier to throw, right? I don't know what the odds are for at the beginning of the season to have the Chiefs three-peat, what that would be, what those odds would be. But I mean, I bet you if they put down like a few $1 million on the Chiefs to three-peat, it's hard to keep having throwing game after game or whatever. I mean, that's really tough, right? But usually it's a game here and a game there that gets thrown, and which helps the mob make money. But once again, where there's a will, there's a way. And but whoever watches the game, hey, enjoy yourself. I hope it's a great game. I hope it's close. But I will never ever watch. I will never watch the Chiefs or the Eagles play. So I will not be partaking in the Super Bowl. Could not care less who wins. The only thing that will make me happy is that one of these teams will lose. Right? If the Eagles win, I'll be happy for the NFC East because then we'll have 14 Super Bowl rings, right? By far the most. It will also be the only division in football where not only every team, if the Eagles win, not only every team has a Super Bowl win, but every team will have multiple Super Bowl wins. The only division in football, NFC East, if the Eagles win. We still are the only division in football that has each team has a Super Bowl win, right? Eagles got one. Commanders, Boston Braves, Redskins, Commanders, Washington, the WTFs, the WFTs, whatever you want to call them, they got 3, right? Giants got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then the Cowboys got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's 13. So the only division of football that every team has a Super Bowl win, right? If the Chiefs win, right, they three-peat, but I'll be very happy because the Eagles will lose. So, right? But I said that's the only thing I got. One of these teams will lose. That's the only thing I can cheer for. But whoever winds up watching it, have a great time. Hope it's a great game. Hope it's a close game, but I won't be watching it.